Shimamba mimo bibia acho emoma kwaba de mobile Nsroma Kaseɛbɔ ewo Apam TV the free Fordjour rescue point and a kenkan ede amamo and there kotonima bosome ne da etosu edu enan ewo mfimpinum echi edwenu enum emu and there wukwada and some no dos ye papa na mom ne awobete ewo kaseanu emu Ghana mampeni akasa ede afa eye solar energy eho saso ena dollar honsensem wura sami jamfi ekoyi bi ede mama part no ensam dodo no wa na abobo ede afasa ensam no eho yede yeni betire mu ewo inkane pani kwanchefo a na ohye eye National Signals Bureau no ano nensam no ye kire na sre ene abasa ekopie mu ewo court nende yasanso achi no ewo nsam fufuro eho ye ni nsam ahodro edihye editie semufo bomodin so ne so krogen dia mame se me bekenkan emfa emmaw yade na seni na be ma Apam Global Church asafo no sadani den na mpanimfo eso ye mu ma ye mu yeduru na yetumi kenkan kaseɛ do ede ma wo fiefie emu na san yonti no obo ade ya domo a ekena eye ya wada empire bokase ebekoso ewo fidua mu ha eni nti baby bia wo bia no na wo de aka wo dada setena no udwumedi a wo bedi obo ade ya domo a ekena no eho se wo beko dwam akwa akodidwa anobeko koton ade bomoden se obeye ne osuma wo nedwuma no ne dikan eye empire bo obeba ne nyina ya kan bom na ya bom pa yesa ne osoro ebetumi atiyende na wafa evangelist papa ni agiman so agiyen edi ye free ye kodanda no emu na sa yonti no atena ye kese yi ebutu sotiom rescue point french mu ni nyina no ubenya ewa home amede ba betu ejeyi 0249669993 0249669993 and 0540378282 0540378282 na nimpedifo acheche enkomo betumi so akan ho abefo kwan so YouTube and our Facebook Apam TV Ghana o like no comment no wasanso a share edi amount me amaje penny ba bekenkan edin ameje so eni na ama Fordjour ye home so nkomra ne ba ensem no mekenkan edi amount Free Samino ase dia na Ghana mampeni akache ene ekwa free Samina se ewo ho His Excellency Ora John Dramani Mahama abomode akwa kopiemu ewo nhyiedibi ase na no peni no ede atu ejose aban dada ba besen eko wono antutu nyoma ye kura eba no eye solar energy no eho openi no kire mu a fango meche petrol diesel ena afei emfra meja ye fe no LPG a ye didi juma wo ye fiefie no emu no nanka wo pese wo ye no abefo kwan eso nanka ye nya efri ewia ana emframa emu nanso no wo hwe san nyama we nyina ye nsa entumi anka na Ghana so ye won hwehwe ye bia e kire se o se ye tue ohanche chemu du edema eye renewable resources empanimfo nanso wo hwe mu a ejina eye 3% ani nti o case so se onena ban ede nyama begu akwanso na omo aye ama eye anwodin dwumedie no etumi ejina ne nanso brane.
We're in transition to green energy, and so we passed the Renewable Energy Act, which stipulates that at least 10% of our energy mix, should come from renewables. I'm ashamed to say we are under 3% at the moment. I think 2.71% of our total power production is renewable, and it's mainly in the solar space. Solar, Ghana has a comparative advantage to produce solar because we have abundant sunlight. Indeed, if we could export sunlight, we would be one of the richest countries in the world. And so increasing our capacity in solar in terms of, bigger solar power generation, but not only there, but also household solar, mini-grid solar. I mean, there are many options that we could look at. And so refining it to get the optimum is what we're at the moment. We've given licenses to several companies to begin to set up, large-scale solar, 20 megawatts, 50 megawatts, and 100 megawatts, so that we can catch up with at least a 10% power from renewable sources. But I think that the time has come also for us to follow in the footsteps of some of the Scandinavian countries, including Germany.
Yeah, Pim so dia na yedi echemo opening kwanchofo ono na eda Ghana Gold Board no ano na wochi ababesen eko enyane ntie eyemunim asem dada se ora samije mfi abomodin akwa ma partner odisike bi akwa no ana dollar yi ebi eno ene bambontene omanfo no akasa ede afa ho ama edom kuma no so ayensemchofo enhiemu na enhiemu dia ekoso no national organizer edema New Patriotic Party NPP amanyokuo no Ora Henry Nanabuache ane na hotedin ene nana bi openi no akasa ede afon seni oyeye no enye kra esanse Ghana mampeni Apam eye embra a ye friend code of conduct a eno no eba beboa ama eye amemu no timi akoso na kamere so openi no webuso.
National Communications Officer of the party Osaya acting Gold Board CEO Yera Mahama. And some of them for no more Kenyan say, and ya won sa ubetimi dia kan eya branche san say oyo golden boy untimi nya ho hwe untimi nya bibia na kasa kwa in fact all social media so asema o mo kan no say esi dan na obi a yenya ntua ne ka o na enei ono wetimi nya dollars do so puo so wo hwe kwan so ofa so oyi dollar na utimu se bebregu ho pa. So we share ye Ghana ye mremu. We hear the Foreign Exchange Act, we hear the Anti-Money Laundering Act. Ne can say akutia. Now no one na Nsroma Kaseɛbɔ kasa or can be say na point is no they should eschew opulence and ostentation. Ye nyane say akesesem say ye disika chire on person na point is ni be sa. And now is a washer car na Nsroma Kaseɛbɔ them 2025 Range Rover autobiography fully spec'd $350,000 and a team no de ko ye keke eye ahokyira Ghana for firm ene enema bo akosoro na wo hwe obi ono no hwe gold board so na wayi sika dosopuo dollars na odi ache anohye etietia Ghana mra u code of conduct na ankasa o de bae no ebu nanimtia se opani Mahama anye hu bibia ye kira ni se eye u code of conduct na de bae ni se be kra ta keke emunye du ebe ye mframa o kasa keke na menye ni se sa na apese wo mamu no esikono.
Yeah, to also dia na ebeto eja ewo Ghana emu afia yifra se no se peni kwanchofo na oda National Signals Bureau eni ora kwabena edubo ahen dia National Investigations Bureau impenufo eso ne mu ni nyina no efa sike bia efa ne nsase se ode kwakoje softwares bi na ofa kakra de koye na otabiri kese do ekoto na account emu eno no enam so ama ye doa eyo no ene ne ho ka mpedifo na asem no enkombe nyina no okopie mu asem dibia eno na mpedifo yese ana court no esi gina so we ma no bail nanso bail no etire wo yese wo de beba no wo chinchan ase na no na owura ana lawyer chachuti kata odi aba betu eja ochire mu se yasanso achi openinu ebio efa eye asem foforo kra ehu.
He should have his freedom yesterday, and they said they have another matter that they are investigating concerning him. So when he was supposed to have his freedom, by their calculation, they released him midnight, and then rearrested him on the basis of the newfound matters they were looking at. But the question is, in the period in which he had the freedom, why didn't they deal with the matter? And they'll leave it till midnight and rearrest him. Is somebody very excited and incarcerating another Ghanaian with all manner of tactics who aid justice. And that is unfortunate. It's gone back to Yoko, and I'm going there now for me to come to terms with what is the new matter, what is the new issue. See, because he's been there all this while, and if there were serious matters of consequence, and he's on bail, huge bail, 80 million Ghana cedis bail. He's living nowhere. Look why his name and that of Angela. They are all over the nation, our borders and our airports. They are going nowhere. So I believe that we should come clean that this is not a personal vendetta. This is a man that you believe you have some criminal case against, and give him space to defend himself. I give him also the freedom that now the Supreme Court has decided that there is no case which is not bailable, including murders, provided always they will exact on you conditions for you to appear.
So far no ena share akwan ne akwantempon ensem eso eni Owura Gavins Abuja opedi no so ede atu ejase aban ene won ayenhyehyeye a wode niam egu na kwanso se ne eye Nigeria kwan ana akwantempon ahodro a ewo Nigeria ne free Nigeria de kotogo afi Ghana de ko Abidjan wode niam atuto na kwanso wono de bibia kra ye wie a wo be frase de edidwuma eni nti wo hu ni se ebeboa omanfo pa.
John Dramani Mahama has asserted his unwavering commitment to the Abidjan-Lagos corridor, recognizing its strategic importance for our national growth and regional prosperity. His vigorous support underscores the project's role as a vital driver of economic transformation, improves connectivity and socio-economic development for our people. The President's endorsement reflects his vision of a unified, prosperous West Africa where infrastructure serves as a backbone of development. Infrastructure development is not just about constructing roads and bridges. It is about building connections, connecting communities, economics, and opportunities. We recognize that the success of such projects depend on our ability to engage meaningfully with those that are impacted, respecting their concerns and incorporating their insight to create sustainable and inclusive development. This initiative embodies our collective responsibility to build infrastructure that is sustainable, inclusive, and elevates the social and economic fabric of West Africa and region. It is clear testament to our shared vision of a prosperous, united West Africa, one interconnected by modern, reliable road to drive economic growth, enhance regional integration, and uplift our citizens.
We're here because this project is going to affect communities. It's going to affect people who lose some things, gain some things, and it is important that we tell them what it is that they are going to gain, what it is that they are going to lose. We are going to start immediately after now to engage the communities, 32 of them in Ghana, like I was just discussing with the Honorable Minister, I told him that in Nigeria we engage 6 communities, in Togo 3, in Benin we engage 6, in Cote d'Ivoire 6, but in Ghana, because Ghana has more than 50% of the road, we're engaging 32 communities. It's also important for us to know that these communities would have to partner with us to make this road successful. We're not just going to be building a road that people will just pass. We also want development for the region.
Well, NDC impenifo ebaye no wode nsembe brenua etu eja edefa eye keteke kwantempon ahodrodo eso na no na impenifo kire mu se wobra na eye New Patriotic Party orana na dodanko ekufu ado na odi wodu enim eye emfe enwochi ni nyina no wode tu eja se keteke kwantempon no wobehye na nka wono aye ne ewie mu de se ne ebeboa ama ufri eye teba na ode weni kire mu ewo nkan ya konko from nemu ebefa wiem na eno no enam so ama keteke impenifo ne African Investor Holdings Company wakan wontuma edibanchiri mu se obehye masa dwumedie no etumi akoso empenifo kire mu a besinde wono entumi anya yimpo eno enanam so ma empenifo di nhihwemu egu akwan eso na nhihwemu no wokohu se nipa mienu bi hu bonsa ensem no emu wotam sikachichiri die edekoma sa African Investor Holdings Company no enkofo Professor Ameyaw Ekumfi sa so ena penin kwanchefo na nkane owo GIIF Ore Solomon Asamoah wo kire mu se wokogina sebdibia no Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Semsai Edinsem Etu Eja say.
Out in court showed that the money, which is $2 million, was allegedly used to purchase shares in a company in Seychelles. As we speak, the accused persons and the board of directors of the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund do not know anything about what the money has been used for, where the money is, whatever would happen, where the company itself is. So our case was simple, that you have taken taxpayers' money, you have used the taxpayers' money for a purpose which has not been approved by the board, has not been approved by any authority, and you have thrown this money outside of the country through bank transfer. We don't know where the money is, and you are not able to tell us where the money is. So until you tell us where this money is, or you bring the money or the fruits of the money, or the intended purpose of the money, the laws of Ghana would require you to pay with your personal liberty or bring the money. So based on these laws, we think that the case must be arraigned before the court, and that is basically our story. They took taxpayers' money, spent it on whatever purpose no one knows, claiming that they have used to buy shares in the company which is supposed to build sky trains in Accra. As we speak, I believe we don't have any sky train in Accra. There is no evidence that the money was used to start any project on any sky train, and that is mainly the issue here. We have previously been accused of trying to try the case in the media. I think it's sufficient to note that the money, whatever purpose it was used for, was not realized by the people of Ghana. The rest, as to whether the company exists, whether there is any investment actually made, whether the money went to some people's pockets, whatever happened, the rest we would present them in court for the judge to decide, unless we are accused of, trying to try the accused persons in the media. Our policy of recover the loops is simply primary. I mean, the first objective is to get the money, because this country, as we know, has lost so much money through some of these decisions that public officials, some political, some civil, have made in this country. The primary objective of the ORA.
Yadi yeni echemu ewo Nkranza South and afi Nkranza North eye mensinu emu abato komisa ne fa ewo hone eye mrahyebeje ne ewo mpotebu no wode nsama to eja se wono eto eye assemblies abato nanso no omanfo no enyi woni tikura amba mbeto abanenu na mpenifo de kokobo akọ ede ama wonse assemblies no wontumi enyi won firim eni nti se ba ne sa no a wommo modern so wobetu santene aba beto aba
Nipa beye 300 and something, be 400 near register. Nipa about to have been 30. Bebrebe kudum. We are hoping say later in the day, bebe banaba betwaba, seni beya, ebe to me anya nipa dodo amabatu abama yene. Wa won kranza manimuha, na se wa otu aban kranza manimuha. Ehun hia pa yesre hu se hun nyina homra na hometwaba. Kranza North and South. Yema menuma be kodwom ba be wodwom ne ba bia yesre ho nyina homra na hometo aba se ne be ya yebetumi aboa ama Nkranza man akoso wonfie nan we mu
nena Nkranza South for yeto assembly abano e de yi nipa mbokwa kogina o manam e wa assembly ye ba ye no ne makakra ye hu wo mra ye ko round no ba ku ye se turn out no e wo fom nipa do ye se o mo beto aba no Omobano ewo from pa go your polling station be on my nipa 300 meno kasa nipa o mabeto aba be 32 baby 400 nipa o mabeto aba no be 31 baby kura 26 no mabeto aba ni nyina ne se dana omode letter commission this share say lebran eno ka ho bi pa because na ye Nkranza man omudwada and nipa no dudu owo dwama omudiga. The date now, letter commission this year, and no can be the matter out on the offer. Near my back, you know, I must say, who be more. Our letter commission, I'm one home day ever home. Yes, sir. Quite our fast so printed ballot papers, and you cry. Picture no black and white, and any moon now cry.
Dominic na penny kwanchofo a ono ewo Ghana Revenue Authority opedino ede nsem akọ ede ama NGOs say wo modern say wonu dwumedi a wodi no be register enkonkrata so sane ebeboa ma infasude bi e wo ho no wonso wonsa ebetumi aka.
Once they get the exemption status, that is all. They don't pay PAYE for their employees. Once you don't pay PAYE for your employees, you are in breach. Once you have employees and you pay them salaries, we expect that they also contribute their quota. You, the NGO, you are not the one paying. You are only acting as a conduit to collect the money for Ghana Revenue Authority. So oftentimes that is not done. That is one. And we also expect them to file their tax returns at the end of the year. You are not filing to pay. You are filing in compliance with the law. Is that okay? They don't do that. So when they come for renewal, then it becomes a challenge. Again, when it comes to the funding that they get from donors and whatnot, that is the reason for which they are able to carry out their mandate. There's no tax implications. If they invest the money into, let's say, treasury bills or some other investment instruments, there's no tax implication. But once they carry out businesses or once they engage in consultancies, that income is taxable and they must recognize that.
One case of benefit because all register NGO not to say NGO no one register you can't get donor funding. Now government important to me support and no be outside the officer or investing in that NGO only to me because it's not registered, it's not legalized. But at least so we'll register now at least who comply with whatever you are supposed to do. I think say no a boss will be a due diligence. At least they get information and everything about the company. A bomb to me.
NGO folk doors you can see account on crying. But unfortunately, no, you're not enough training for them. And that training so why I be at 2 hours, 3 hours. And yeah, enough. One more questions and for bisa. Say there's more time for but I say and say a bit check from there some you know to your mind properly like tax purposes, SNITs, and a JRA and a MPU. And yeah, no kwa your trauma has a number you juma from make more story. Like what you must so can't story any emphasis when you will jumano but I say if I see a trauma no mutimi adwuma because in such man no yen e hu hia papa ya in your chroma situation san kan jos ni ho kola be require in school obi okra onye nso sometimes kwa toilet kwe bi ni krobi so Nti who say adwuma na NGO for and very important. Something I don't know together. Say be better I encourage you all. At the same time, so no ba no mo hu young NGO mo a who said they are not alone. Afibia you will be the MPO secretariat. But no, Afibia will renew your license. License no without a license, no to operate.
Yes, you can send some no na dear na sidini dollar no ye pa na enkaneno na sidino eda form and na dollar no wasro nenso dear Ghana Mampany's Excellency Ora John Dramani Mahama abomodin ene na ban akwa ama empempem ye sididu ejina brane na fe dollar no so ato form eno no enam so ama Ghana Union of Traders Association guta empenim forso den krate piem bontre so say sa dia jedifo emmo dente wono nioma no esose ne ebeboa ama obia ho ahenhan won eno no enam so ama eyetechiman ejadifo akere wono adwen afaguta ensama oditu eja no eho
na ba fom no ye expect say kanyema bobede ba fom ba ye ko warehouse ko fa nyema the price is the same though the na so ayden aba fom but maybe ye fa nyema fi bia price no so nya den entie enti wu ko fa ba untimi meti so say the what you say aye problem no because we have variety of items we see, but because of say your warehouse for na the dollar has fallen, but still price of money and one of money.
The more you decrease it, the more it moves faster. So if you get it cheaper, we sell it at a cheaper rate so that everyone can buy it, and then it will move faster for you and then the company that produce that items. They decrease it and you also decrease it. You are not going to use that high amount of money to go and buy it. You are going to use because they have decreased it. You are going to use a little amount of money to go and buy it. So if you decrease it, it balances the equation. You will not run at loss. That's what I think. So maybe I take this thing at 5 cities and I'm not selling it. They are now giving it to me at 3 cities. If I sell it at 4 cities and go back for it at 3 cities, will I get run or loss? No.
Rani man the apple from be I cry at it so that sugar say born a year, just ya so. More half of you be I say apple from yes.
Yenjina jedifo ensemino esona ye home ye kase no so emratiawa.
Radin Shira Onyo Kese Apam Global Outreach Asafo Nyamenipa Evangelist Papani Edano Eton Safro Abayempa Bokesia Yawa de Biomu Boabo Nyankopon Mani Anwotefo ano Ede omu chine nyame tumi ne mu hyere mu bompaye Tuan boni breki nome ji nipa fro boni fo nhyehyeye mu bubu enome ade ahokyere eka ne nimguase ebe nipa so esum nipa ede tun hyere ma nyame favor ebe nipa so ntiba bia wo bia yawada weni yawada be bia wo ye ton safrel se bomoden ne bra apam fie Fordjour rescue junction bra sampa bokese be woni wabusua na wadofo mfa mo ho behyem ye mompaye ye nsufra urade ye mbo mpaye mfa ye dwuma sem ye sikasam ya pom de ye nkwa ho na niema ye de obonefo agie free yensa no urade tumi ne na ho oden na base mu ye den no engie ye nioma pa emfa ma yen ye be ye nhira ye aso abatumpon ade ya hye nyankopon animunyam me pacha ye wo Fordjour rescue junction empire bono shase yawada no pa 7 o'clock by 11:30 no ye de empire bono nyina aba na wie ye pacha obefa Fordjour ka wala pass kwa shiman odoko kaneshi eno fanko barrier osumesi ewo Fordjour rescue junction for 0249 669993 and 0540 378282 ye hwe wenim say yawade ene yawade bia odo na besi apamfie ne ya bompaye na Awurade tumi akasa e de ama
Emashafo nyina akwaba yasanso etwa N7 so edi abamodia na yekọ Ghana Tourism Authority penin kwanchefo a oda ano ede adesede akọ ede ama ankrankre ejuma metre private sectors no na desede nyina enese won kambom sene ebeboa ma akwansra bia dwumedie metre tourism no etumi afa ntema pa no efra openi echemu a sene ebeboa ma ebeche enkofo edi efre tichini benchaye abano eno no beboa ama won botae sa kwansra bia dwumedie no etumi afa ntema pa efra
say a picture tourism Ghana and to be able to say able to be a picture in I will say a man focus into focus I had a man and say ye office PPP now hold it up. We had this already. It's under the corporate affairs, but the ENYASA desired attention. They say a year for corporate affairs, discuss issues, or Sikapa, say, only Ghana tourism, we are ready, opening our doors to them. As I speak to you, we are doing partnership with hotels, with event centers, we are doing partnership with EV cars, we are doing partnership with banks so that they can help our hotels with the solar and renewable energy. See, we know a number of things that, but we cannot do it alone. We have to partner with the private sector. Like they said, tourism is an initiative of the Ghana Tourism Authority. The public agency or government will be the promoter of tourism, but the private sector is the driver for this sector. And this is an opportunity to deepen our relationship with the private sector. And that is why the private-public partnership unit has been launched today. It means that there's a conduit within the authority. If you're a private partner or a private sector practitioner and you want to engage us, hitherto some people come direct to the CEO or come to a deputy CEO. We have various departments and units and their functions. It's not everything that goes to the CEO. Some of the things go to CEO, she will minute it and send it to the appropriate office.
Chief of Staff Abedi Chue Edema Ghana Mampeni ene owura yere nana oye ado maame no so ejina simpie so akasasa ban na de se de ene ade ehia ne yie papa ene so obehye eye anesefo yie edinti aban ni edinsi akantem se obeyi na kumemu na ode ahye anesefo yie senia won so obetumi ahye ayafo yie ewo oman no emu.
Are fully aware and sensitive to the challenges you face, but I bring hope. In just 120 days, we have allocated 480 million cedis in the 2025 budget for nursing trainee allowances. We have uncapped the National Health Insurance Levy programming, so we have 9.93 billion. For claim payments, for essential medicines, for vaccines, for free primary healthcare initiative, and the newly introduced Ghana Medical Care Trust, Mahama Cares. Our Health Minister, Honorable Minta Akando, has actively assessed the state of healthcare infrastructure across Ghana. Close to 90 of the hospitals launched under the previous government remain uncompleted, and we are committed to complete these projects.
Free so dia na ye de ni echemu ewo mami Emilia Ata akache na ono ayeswafo edema fisheries and aquaculture. Eno enam suma pedifo bomodin atew abejekuo wono atew no wono eba bomodin ahye se enama yeyi ewo nsuo mu no bibia ebetumi akọ enkan edinti edin a eda wono so anane wakwakoye any fisheries commission board any din eda wono eso openinu afasa akonya no so etu wonfo se won momodin se sa debre na wode ama wono obeye adwuma yie paama enho aba emfaso.
It's a pivotal moment for Ghana's fisheries and aquaculture sector. We inaugurate this 10-member board to lead the Fisheries Commission for the next 4 years. First, congratulations to each of you. Your selection reflects your competence, integrity, and commitment to national service. As you may know, for most of you, it was a request to your organizations that brought you. So your organizations must have some faith in you for them to present you to sit on this very important board. We are invited to contribute to the reset of Ghana as a nation and also the reset of the fisheries and aquaculture sector. We are very certain of what potentials this sector holds. We know that we have just been scratching the tip of the iceberg and want to delve deeper so that the fisheries and aquaculture sector will contribute to Ghana. We also want to take to a new level the whole issue of the blue economy. And we believe that the fisheries sector, fisheries and aquaculture sector, has a key role to play in manifesting the full potentials of the national blue economy for Ghana. This vision demands more than routine governance. It requires bold decisions, data-driven planning, and a deep responsibility to the environment and the people. I expect quarterly reports from the board and clear, honest updates that show progress, challenges, and proposed actions. Accountability will be the backbone of our collaboration. I also want to remind you of the new Code of Conduct for Public Service issued by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana. Uphold it in your work. Let transparency, patriotism, and discipline define your leadership. Let this be a board that sets a benchmark for others.
Ghana Armed Forces in for abomodin aye induction service a day ama aye soldiers for ana asraf for Sarge Media ekoso e wo Bema camp.
I reaffirm the government's commitment to supporting the armed forces with the tools, infrastructure, and policy direction necessary to fulfill your constitutional mandate. The President and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, remains deeply appreciative of the sacrifices made daily by our gallant officers and soldiers, both at home and abroad. We encourage you to maintain the teamwork, discipline, and adherence to the highest standards of professionalism. I have every confidence that under the leadership of our Chief of Defense Staff and Service Chiefs, the Ghana Armed Forces will continue to uphold the values of honor, duty, and professionalism. Let us join in prayer, seeking God and Allah's guidance and protection for our armed forces, our leadership, and our great nation. May God bless our Chief of Defense Staff, service commanders, and all personnel of the Ghana Armed Forces as they serve with distinction and honor.
So to all of us who will be the next generation after us, let me remind you of the following. Be professional and be yourself. Maintain your integrity. You will need it. Have a spirit of perseverance because there will be ups and downs. Be firm, but be fair to all. Believe in your faith because as Field Marshal William Slim explained in his memoir, a book, Defeat into Victory, during the Burma campaigns, soldiers who had faith in higher beings fought better than those who did not believe in anything at all. Let the welfare of troops be your concern and always your priority.
Mpenimfo sabi wono abene akwado ewo eye raba emu na nsakraye ahodra edidi dwuma no mpenimfo ekire mu se erade a wo se wode nyema egu akwemu se ne ebeboa ama eye nyema no ebi no yebetumi eja ewo man Ghana emu natural raw materials no se ne ebeboa man local companies no obetumi di edi dwuma we eye nsema penin kwanchofo a oda TDC Dr. Randy Osei odi tu eja
alone. If any ton of unprocessed rubber leaf, it's almost 450 Ghana cedis. And if you put average tonnage that has gone the last 2023, 2024 to get averagely about 50,000 tons. And that gives you almost 22.5 million Ghana cedis per year that we've lost. And we think that we have to arrest this situation. So we all met here to discuss the directives that, yes, we do agree that all actors should play their role and we can have a fruitful business. But in this particular instances, there's a directive that if really you want to export, if you have done your registration, you have license to do that business, and you want to export raw rubber or unprocessed rubber or cashew or share, you need to engage TCDA for a written permit, and TCDA will ensure whether we will allow this export to be done, or you can pass it on to a local factories or processors to do that. So we have agreed, customs were here, port, Shippers Council, everybody that matters at this high level were here, and we have all agreed to the point that yes, before this commodities or products since from 2nd May leaves the port, as you are speaking today, leave the port, they would have seen the written authority or permit from TCDA before they allow it to go. Or is to ensure that we have raw materials to feed the industry locally. And as His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama commissioned the Feed Ghana project or program, he indicated that we have to feed the Ghana industries with our raw materials. And then from production now, we could see that there's a shortfall almost 3-point-something metric tons of shortfall of raw materials, and then we need to catch up and help them.
When you say how competitive are we, if I look at quality, I would say we are number one. But in terms of, let's say, pricing and all that, in the rubber industry, we have the reference pricing and everybody works towards that. And it's the
Yenjina MP4 and some of the 2 ejano na yenje awafon kratwa etosum yunu embra.
Ago Ghana B mimba nyomani ingbeji Jacqueline ni mijaye Apam Global Outreach Solimo ni wo papa evangelist papa ni ajiman iye won he keje beni kenyi ba wo Solimo na mi ni wale chake ibi ni no mi afimo ni ka mishi ihani maya no la mo fonji ni la fe mene isefu ni mi inan he min chabu anyami mini jo hawmo muchumo sane blanchine sika sane alo mini jo hawmo so like anyami me min foni ni min chabu nyaba fata ihe so na ni ba na keda so ye Apam Solimo ni yo Sotom Rescue Point Junction ni bu owala efe na kando nyerado.
So emo kwaba na afi yentwa ensem no so amfa emma yetwa ensem no so dia yebekọ efutu eno no ewo Cape Coast ewo mfimfin mantam no emu eho na omanfo a ewo empotem ho do won so wode adesrede akọ ede amaga na ban se woni bia wonu etu eye imwura edigu eninti ba bia obi abenya no na nipa na kwakotu edi egu eba no saswa emwa ede yade awodo bebre no na eba eninti no was rempenimfo se obenya ya trash can ana containers awodo obetumi di nwura no egumu a enke bebo won yie pa
Team assembly so many times even many environmental health for me one aba me na enti in fact this year no I am the papa there mpanyimfo wati ye ne hona there wotwemu ha na hu ye ne ho se hwe kwan ba tourist center efutu health center no wo ahayai enti na say iwe de me ogu kwan ho a onye fe enti mbebi oye me je papa ye there UTV watching start from them nka bibi mfamfo we no iwe no o ha he nie papa sabu so bi ko ka kuma park no do ano hu de iwe duwa na nzeme bi nse dan koyi na mum mayo zumi ka sinyina no mizi wozumi ga yofon papa ikuro yi na your containers too wa betema koko man nanto more than 1 year obi an kasa mo but onyo no so na mapa ba yegudo nyafa mizi bia no yeye eti be for dem akonye do na ma sra be no payifo mbo biara o de boy na ebetum be yi dem dumping site ki de piano ma sado yarba onkonkobo mama afre no yetimo no madebre o municipal ya pe container ni bi sa amutu ye gubo de ni mo ba yetimo no mala yakwa oyeye na mo to de so ya ka che asasi wa to mo nje iwe ni gu san now e mani ugu we wa ha ibe so ugu so anfan ko chi obaka ko ni yetimo no mo biara ito oyeye ya ka che ko nje so oyeye dama aboti tisi aye yeto yetu yeji iwe ni gu ba ona me container bimbe ni si ibe yugura so ma mani gu nsi tini atata sempanyefo no tu me container ni bia no tu ze bebe ni gu oya ma afoko
Every san sabdo eso na fe konkuwie kase no ewo eyetema ene ne mpotem ahyenkafo ne omanfo ewo mpotem so ede atu ejase wona kwantempon no enyenyenyenyenye yenna yenim sanka ye potholes nanso wo hu ne se ye bonka awodo pa ena eda akwantempon awodo do eso wo kirebu se ekwan bi to se GTP eye kwantempon no eso afeitema oil refinery o forward a enye kra ntimpenifo emrem
haya pa ya free mankwade ede ba gapoha habo runabout sa kwa ni de nyanyanyanyanyanyanya sa wo free ahabo na wo pe mankwade runabout na nema wo uka mu a wa hwe ya obeto ka na atwene wo free mankwade runabout na wo san epe Black Star Lion wa hwe ya obeto ga na atwene free ho sa kopim committee 3 runabout kwa ni nyina onya twom wo Black Star Lion kwa na tutu te abanyenya bi ho bibi maye enya sa emboa ye kura
we every man kwade ediba we abonyi sare on kwa ni nyal na no kura ye ka ba ko pietize miensa ewo sa kwa no honom no so yesere mu we bibi maye na mundi aban we bibi maye na untimi ye de
13 years ne de kwa na tia na tie bia kura ma so ba ye ho adwumada from hasa to baku din baku on kwa mutimi ye kakra no ma se jan suta na asase kwa na die no kura ba ko pe benya pa ka ba na me mo na we de nim se company se do so ho no suntrao so nka musu nyina tu ya tax de mo nyina tu ya tax nso ya how de nka ba ma ye kwan na me no kura ba ko pe kwa fa to anim ha titru pa de ka ba ma ye ma ye kwan na de ache pa
the Bible do I find it difficult at times you spring to me boo yes right by any says so bet me be afa ho amaya ebebo ayen pa from Po to GTP roundabout Toll Road yeah
some people it was a heavy industrial
Yabejina ensemo ahyenkafo ne ejadifo a ewo eyetema ene ne mpotem wodi tu ejano na yede yekase ni nyina esi esansempedifo ewo bebiomu ebuse nsuo eche ewo to emu a eyihia elinti hana bema me kwan ama me de kase no esise ne adwumedi ahodro aka no ebetumi atoa eye kasamfoni no eso ede amount na san yuntin yede na sen bema Apam Global Church sedane de nyina mpedifo eso yemuma yemu yedudu na yetumi kan kase no ede emaw ewo fiefi mu oboade ya adumu a echina ode dum yen a eya de mpaebo kase ebekoso ewo ha eniti bomoden se wo beka che wunua na wunua kan che obi na obi so akwa kire obi na ye ni eba behiem ewo ho bomoden se obetonsa ede afre obi esanse ehie ye papa onkwa mema mbeji insura no modern se wobefo obi a ono so yade obi a obre wa abrabomu otempen kɔ nneɔma nkɔ yie na dwumasɛm atɔba ha modern se wobeso saa nipa no ensa na wecha ne kwan ede na ba se nipa no kra ni eye transporter modern ne tuama no na oyeyie a obɛkae odachi bi ne san yonti no modern ne hihye ye kira kwan ewo so tuom osom no hye ase 7 anapa 11:30 na ye de osom no akwa akogu obo ade ya adomo efiada odedom ye na na memene daso odemayen communion service chenchirinche ebekoso yie pa ewo fidue mu ha eno so so wunim obi a kwankwan ye de bi da no so nipa bi a wo hya ya de bi a hya ne ho ache na enkoye se ye kidney eye kokram ya bibia obetumi abodin ulcer bibia nipa na kwa enkono ahanko a ene mecha wutia aba be piebu ewo ha bia na wachinchin ti amasisi a no wugidie no echinshan untumi nkikensie ni na emom bebi a beboa mo watumi akensie ni eya Apam Global Church asafo no eni nti uba menja wugidie no hyegidie no mukena na be piemu ewo ha na wodi wugidie no eba ebe wie wo payie ebeboa amanioma esisi yie akoso sania openo ne san yonti me de number yi betu eja se wo pa sofo wo be frɛ wo na wo no wo abom paye ana wo no wo edinsa wo so efa no location wo fi atichi ni benche ya me bo number yi edi amount se na wo betumi afrɛ 0249 669993 0249 669993 and 0540 378 282 0540 378 282 na wonim penimfo abomodin edinsa woso na yedina se no ebema muftao se ota eye echire na ochinchimi fidie no mfuruma edema mema wutumi hye me ewo fiefiem oboade nyankopon enhyira no na oma na hoden saso ena sofo nyame ba jesi so yeda na se abreni na no obomodin esakase ni mu edema yense yembe kenkan emfa ensomo nyame ehira ono so na oma na hoden na ontonkoso a enye emaye midin edina na ama Fordjour mema wo mu ene hye enyado